Drawing standards help us organize our work and do things effectively and efficiently, and help us share our work within the company that we're working for, and even sharing with companies that we're dealing with, clients that we're dealing with. And so we want to teach you a little bit about some of the processes that we go through and the skills that help us meet a set of standards. And so our standards example is going to be about a floor plan that will turn into other plans. It's from a client, and so it has its own particular standards. And our company has slightly different standards. And so, when we get their file and start working with it, we need to transform it. Now, there's nothing, one is not right and the other wrong. Both of them are right. They are the standards for their respective companies. They work primarily for the types of jobs and works that each company does. And so this is just common. It's a common thing that you share files and you have to do a little bit of work with one of them to change it into the standard for your own company. So let's take a look at some of the standards that are in the client's company. The first thing that we'll notice is that they're using decimal feet. And I bet you then if I do units, the units are decimal feet. So this is most often from a civil engineer. So for some reason, the civil template got used when this floor plan got made, and they're all in civil units. So the units in this drawing, if I come over here, when I type in a distance, it's already measuring feet. Okay, so if I go a distance from this point over to here, see how it measures 36 feet. Okay, so that's one thing to note. The other is that the dim style is also in decimal feet. And the other thing to note is that the dimensions are in the model, not in paper space. And, this is about 50-50 across the architectural industry. Some places put them in the model, some places put them in paper space. Neither is right, neither is wrong. They are just two different standards. Okay, so there are some things, and then the last thing that we'll notice, or another thing, is that their dimensions are actually on the text layer. So they're on the text layer. Okay, and the font I think is standard font. Okay, so those are some things that you'll be interested in. Now let me go ahead. I forgot to change this, so I'll show it to you really quickly. I usually put things into white, and I usually fix this all up. Dynamic on, ISO off, line weight on, all these ones over here. Got some of those. Not clicking very carefully. Yep. So that's what we see in the clients. Now let's take a look at what we want to do for our company. We're now going to take this client one and make a copy of it and save it as our company standard floor plan. And then, of course, everything changes a bit. There's some title block changes that have to be made. Let's go take a look at how their title block is set up. VMware is just a little bit slow right now. Go. It came back, as you can see. Now, believe it or not, that was on the ARC side. I am blazing fast right now. See where I'm at. Yeah, so I'm at about 200 megabits per second download speed right now. So poor old ARC is having some issues, and you'll find that happens. Well, let's just do a double click and see what some of these are like. Some of these are set for fit with interesting width factors. They also just say 23 instead of 2023. They just have sheet 1 instead of sheet 1 of 1. So there are some things that when we come and look and see how they're done here, well, first of all, I can see that this is a text font called City Blueprint. This is 1/1/2023. This says sheet 1 of 1. So there's some issues there. These are in architectural units, much more common to what we see in an architectural layout. And in this case, the dimensions are in paper space. So those are some of the things that are different. And we'll go through, I'll make you a video on how we actually make those changes. And I can see a few things also that still need to be changed. See how this has a little break in the line here? That should happen over here too. So hopefully I'll remember to go through some of those and get this fully cleaned up. But that's the purpose. Get the base drawing from the client standard, which is perfectly good for the client, nothing wrong with it, to a different company standard. And this isn't even necessarily the ARC standard. You will get other professors that don't use this standard. I just picked a set of rules so that we can go through the process of changing them. That is a major part of entry-level CAD work, is getting drawings and fixing packages up so that they are in the company standard so that you can start working on them. So there we go. That is little overview of how standards work and what we're going to do on the assignment.